G'day everyone and welcome to DVD Openings. I'm Lachlan Madison. Now on DVD Webinar 420 is the road to victory. Collingwood's 2010 season highlights, 2010 DVD, and here we go.
20 years ago, in the afterglow of the 1990 Premiership success, we put together a video called The Road to Victory. It went on to become one of the biggest selling videos in sports history. 20 years later, we're doing it all again, but this video goes beyond the highlights of week by week and who kicked the goals to give you an insight into what it's been like at Collingwood in those 20 years. Well, the song says the Premiership's a cakewalk, but we all know it's anything but. It's put together by a lot of hard work, a lot of blood, sweat and tears, a lot of good times and a lot of down times. Sit back and relax as we look at 20 years from glory to glory at the Collingwood Football Club. On October 6, 1990, Tony Shaw inspired Collingwood to a 48-point victory over Essendon. Burying 32 years of pain, suffering and humiliation to claim our first premiership in the previous 10 attempts at grand finals.
Just so pleased for those 20 blokes who've sort of written their name in history. Yeah, you wait a long time and 13 years it's all been worth it, mate.
With a talented young list that included names like Darren Mullane, Gavin Brown, Mick McGuire and Craig Kelly, Collingwood's drought-breaking victory was widely tipped to be the beginning of a new Magpie dynasty.
It was the greatest thing I've ever celebrated in my life on the top. Sorry, Dad.
The elation and relief of shaking what had become a gorilla from its back was reflected in the celebrations that raged at Victoria Park and right around Melbourne for the next few weeks. But the Magpies of 1990 were a far different club to the one of today, and unfortunately were ill-equipped to handle the overflowing emotions and celebrations after more than 3 decades of misery. By the time the 1991 season rolled around, it became apparent that the Magpies would struggle to live up to the lofty expectations placed upon them by the fans, the experts, and from within the group itself.
Jim Christian gives it away at the end. Craven with a chance. Craven a Rovers goal. And he has kicked the beauty. Darcy panics a bit. There's a great kick.
The season finished with the Magpies missing the finals, but that disappointment would be put in stark perspective with the tragic death of one of Collingwood's favourite sons. Only 12 months after being named the AFL Players Association Most Valuable Player and carrying a broken thumb heroically through their victorious final series, Darren Mullane, the man known as Pants, was driving home along Queen's Road when he smashed into a semi-trailer. He died instantly.
Police believe Mullane may have miscalculated a manoeuvre to pass the semi on its left side.
It would appear that the car went out of control after it hit the back of the trailer and subsequently ended up on its roof.
The tragedy rocked the football club to the core. The honeymoon of 1990 was officially over.
It's a great tragedy for the sporting world. I think everyone will agree with that. And it's certainly a great tragedy to the Collingwood Football Club.
His fans, his family, his teammates and friends all joined to say goodbye. As his teammates formed the Guard of Honour, with the strains of the club theme song in the background, the crowd could not help but acknowledge their champ one more time. The following season saw Collingwood make the finals in 1992 and 1994, but were eliminated at the first hurdle on both occasions.
Russell dodges from 50, goes long and kicks a goal.
It was a time of upheaval as Captain Tony Shaw retired, and a year later, Lee Matthews' 10-year reign at the helm came to an end in unceremonious circumstances.
We've had a lengthy discussion with Lee over the last week. In view of our team performances over the past 2 years, we believe it is time for change.
When you're a long-term coach, I think it's a bit like how you go. We've had a couple of middle of the list years in concession, so really logic says the pressure should be on, and the club's made that decision, so as I say, we'll go with the flow, as they say.
Slides it back there, chance now round the corner.
And while the club unearthed the future champion in Nathan Buckley, there would be little further joy for the remainder of the decade as the club battled a financial crisis that was not made easier with poor on-field results. Towards the end of the 1998 season, the winds of change were blowing through Collingwood once again. And so we ended up at the Camberwell Civic Centre where the members and supporters came together, and I ended up front and centre as the new president of the Collingwood Football Club. But let there be no mistaking, this was no one-man band. Everyone involved in the football club, everyone whose heart beat black and white, decided it was time to become the biggest club in football again and the most innovative sporting club in the country. A lot of people were involved and everybody wanted one thing, and that was the ultimate success of the Collingwood Football Club. My first season in charge was not an easy one. The team struggled all year and faced the recently merged Brisbane Lions in our final game ever at Victoria Park, the spiritual home of our club for over 100 years. On a cold, miserable August afternoon, Collingwood reached its lowest point in our recent history, losing to Brisbane and earning only the second ever wooden spoon in the club's proud history. There appeared to be few signs of hope for supporters who had not seen the side win a final since that 1990 Premiership.
And that's it, Price TV openings. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Tuesday night, and it's only on Passion AFL. Good night, everyone.